Hey, welcome to enNovo Radio. This is your friend David. Hope you're doing well. This is Leadership Lessons, Leadership Insights for December 8th, 2025. Today, we're going to focus on a couple of different areas: communication, risk, crisis response, relationships, strategic vision. So, let's get started with something fundamentally about how we communicate and, crucially, how we engage with our stakeholders. It's a surprisingly complex issue and one that's becoming increasingly relevant in our digitally saturated world. There's a recent uproar surrounding OpenAI, the parent company of ChatGPT, and their decision to disable app suggestions that resembled advertisements. That's ignited a fierce debate across multiple platforms, particularly on Reddit. The core of the issue is that users felt manipulated by the algorithm, perceiving the suggestions as intrusive and deceptive. The conversation, largely driven by user frustration and accusations of algorithmic bias, highlights a growing disinterest in the personalized recommendations. TechCrunch reported on the backlash, noting the significant negative sentiment and calls for greater transparency from OpenAI. Furthermore, the debate mirrors broader concerns about influencer marketing, with many brands struggling to navigate the complexities of authentic engagement and genuine connection. A recent article on Medium.com explored the challenges brands face when working with influencers, questioning the effectiveness of traditional methods and highlighting the need for more strategic partnerships. The underlying theme is clear: trust is eroding and transparency is paramount. This situation underscores the critical importance of proactive stakeholder engagement and building genuine relationships. Leaders need to be acutely aware of how their decisions, and even seemingly minor ones like algorithmic recommendations, impact their audience. It's not enough to simply deliver a product or service. You've got to foster a sense of partnership and demonstrate a commitment to ethical practices. A leader's ability to anticipate and address potential concerns and to communicate honestly and openly is now more vital than ever. This isn't just about avoiding a PR crisis, it's about building long term loyalty and trust. So, here's some things we can take away from that. First, conduct a pulse check with your key stakeholders: employees, customers, investors. Gauge their perception of your organization's communication strategies. Number two, establish clear guidelines for transparency and ethical data usage. Finally, commit to regular two-way dialogue, actively soliciting feedback and demonstrating a willingness to adapt your approach based on that input. Now, let's shift gears to a situation that's demonstrating the fragility of our digital infrastructure and the importance of robust risk management. This one's a little unsettling, frankly, because I have used Gmail since the time it began. I have been using Gmail since 2006, maybe. My email address doesn't have a number in it. That's how long I've been using it. The ongoing Gmail account lockout hack, first reported by Forbes, continues to plague users, with Google desperately looking into a permanent fix. The issue, seemingly originating from a vulnerability in the account recovery process, has left countless users unable to access their email, disrupting workflows and raising serious security concerns. Adding to this, TechCrunch reported that Meta is delaying the release of their mixed reality glasses until 2027, which probably isn't a bad thing, citing technological challenges and a desire to refine the product. This delay, coupled with the Gmail hack, paints a picture of significant technological risk and highlights the potential for disruption. The Gmail situation isn't just inconvenient, it's a stark reminder of how vulnerable we are to cyber attacks and the potential for widespread disruption. Now, this situation powerfully illustrates the need for proactive risk management and a culture of resilience within any organization. Leaders need to be constantly assessing potential vulnerabilities, not just in technology, but in processes, supply chains, and even communication channels. It's about anticipating the what ifs and developing contingency plans. Furthermore, a reactive approach is simply not enough. A resilient organization isn't just about recovering from a crisis, it's about building the capacity to adapt and thrive in the face of unexpected challenges. So here's something we can take away from this. A couple of things we can take away from this. First, conduct a comprehensive risk assessment, identifying potential vulnerabilities across all areas of your operation. Second, develop detailed contingency plans for critical systems and processes, including clear communication protocols. Finally, invest in training and development to equip your team with the skills and knowledge to respond effectively to disruptions. And then our third and final leadership leadership lesson from the news is a broader strategic challenge, one that's impacting not just technology, but the very future of innovation. The power crunch threatening AI's ambitions, as reported by the Financial Times, is a serious concern. The reliance on vast amounts of energy to train and operate AI models is creating a significant bottleneck, potentially slowing down the development and deployment of this transformative technology. Adding to this, Meta's decision to delay the release of their mixed reality glasses until 2027, like I talked about a few minutes ago, signals a reassessment of the market and a recognition of the significant technological bundles involved. Just as a side note, about a mile down the road from my house, they're going to build a new data center. My wife blames me for that data center because I use AI so much at work and because I use it to do some vibe coding, other things like that. So this is a real big deal. I live outside Atlanta in Georgia. Georgia Power has moved from coal power, started making that transition from coal power to nuclear power simply because of the need for electricity, the need for power to run these data centers. And it's a big deal. Not only power, but water. Those two things are crucial for data center usage. And we're running into some technological issues. Can the grid handle it? Is the water going to be? Are we going to run out of water? Those kinds of things. There's some big issues that go along with AI data centers. Now, strategic leadership requires a long-term perspective and the ability to anticipate future challenges. Leaders need to be thinking about the broader implications of their decisions and how they align with the organization's vision. This includes considering not just the immediate benefits, but also the potential risks and unintended consequences. So, what do we do here? We conduct a strategic review, assessing your organization's long-term goals and identifying potential roadblocks. Invest in research and development to explore new technologies and approaches, especially if you're in AI, because we have to reduce the dependency on water and power if we're going to have all these data centers pop up around the country. In Georgia, there's probably a new data center announced every 2 to 3 months. They're happening in many rural areas, and families and cities are fighting back against the developers' desire to put data centers in their region. There was one down the road that pretty much got rejected because the citizens did not want it, and they fought and fought and fought. And then third and finally, be willing to adapt your strategy quickly as circumstances change. So there's your leadership lessons from the news for today, December 8th, 2025. Hope you have a great day. We'll talk again soon, and hope your Christmas planning is going well, and that you remember the reason for our season, Jesus. Have a great day. Take care.